Merry meet! I'm so happy you've joined us today. We're on our live stream and we are about to work a psalm spell. And today we are working Psalm 25. And Psalm 25 is used for many different purposes, a couple of which are receiving forgiveness and for obtaining enlightenment. And today we are using it for the purpose of receiving guidance in any situation that is needed. All right, and the way that we work the psalm spells is simple and effective. We read through the psalm all the way without stopping out loud. And then we go back and we go through it one verse at a time, and we search and dig and find inner meanings of each of those verses in the psalm. And by digging, finding, searching, and contemplating, we are actually planting those seeds deep into our mind. And our deep mind is very fertile ground, and those seeds take root and they grow and they will bear fruit after their kind, and it works beautifully. So let's do that together right now, shall we? So here we go with Psalm 25. It's not too long of a psalm, but it's a little bit longer. All right, here we go. Unto thee, O Lord, do I lift up my soul. O my God, I trust in thee. Let me not be ashamed. Let not mine enemies triumph over me. Yea, let none that wait on thee be ashamed. Let them be ashamed which transgress without a cause. Show me thy ways, O Lord, teach me thy paths. Lead me in thy truth and teach me, for thou art the God of my salvation. On thee do I wait all the day. Remember, O Lord, thy tender mercies and thy loving kindnesses, for they have been ever of old. Remember not the sins of my youth, nor my transgressions. According to thy mercy, remember thou me for thy goodness' sake, O Lord. Good and upright is the Lord, therefore will he teach sinners in the way. The meek will he guide in judgment, and the meek will he teach his way. All the paths of the Lord are mercy and truth unto such as keep his covenant and his testimonies. For thy name's sake, O Lord, pardon mine iniquity, for it is great. What man is he that feareth the Lord? Him that shall teach in the way that he shall choose. His soul shall dwell at ease, and his seed shall inherit the earth. The secret of the Lord is with them that fear him, and he will show them his covenant. Mine eyes are ever toward the Lord, for he shall pluck my feet out of the net. Turn thee unto me, and have mercy upon me, for I am desolate and afflicted. The troubles of my heart are enlarged. O bring thou me out of my distress. Look upon my affliction and my pain, and forgive all my sins. Consider mine enemies, for they are many, and they hate me with cruel hatred. O keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I put my trust in thee. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait on thee. Redeem Israel, O God, out of all his troubles. All right, that's quite a psalm, so let's go through it together. So it starts right out with, Unto thee, O Lord, do I lift up my soul. So remember, the Lord is not a deity of the ancient Hebrews for us. What the Lord is the principle of life itself. There's only one power. There's only one source, there's only one substance, and there's only one life, and we all live that one life, and that life is the Lord, and that is that which is beating our hearts right now. So, unto thee, O Lord, do I lift up my soul. To lift up your soul is to desire to seek and rise, to reconnect with that creator. O my God, I trust in thee, let me not be ashamed. So you trust in God, not in the world. And if you're trusting in God, you have no reason to be ashamed, because God is the creator of you, the author of you, and God did not make junk. So you have no reason to be ashamed. What you need to do is instead trust in God. Let not mine enemies triumph over me. So the enemies in the world are simply a reflection of enemy thought forms that we are holding within our mind. So let not those thought forms triumph. And God won't let those thought forms triumph, because God realizes that those thought forms are non-existent. They only exist within the realm of a nightmare. Yea, let none that wait on thee be ashamed. Let them be ashamed which transgress without cause. So there's no reason to be ashamed if you are waiting on God. To wait on God simply means to trust in God, to know that God is doing God's perfect work, and you're no longer interfering. You are no longer interfering with God's work. And therefore you have no reason to be ashamed, and you have every reason to be glad and joyous, because you know that all good is now manifesting for you. Let them be ashamed which transgress without cause. So those thought forms within us can be ashamed, because then once they've been labeled such, we can recognize them for what they are and no longer follow them, no longer listen to those voices in our minds. Show me thy ways, O Lord. Teach me thy paths. That's all that we want, is we want to be shown the truth. We want to be shown the path. We want to be shown the true way, not ways of our own concocting. Lead me in thy truth, and teach me, for thou art the God of my salvation. On thee do I wait all the day. So all the day long, we are asking to be led in each and every moment, each and every instance. Lead me here. What do I do here? What do I do there? There is no circumstance in our lives that is too great or too small to ask to be led. Remember, O God, thy tender mercies and thy loving kindness, for they have been ever of old. So tender mercies and loving kindness are the only reality. That is what God's will is for you. God does not have any will but tender mercy and loving kindness for you. God's will for you is happiness. God's will for you is joy. So that is the truth since the beginning and will be forever. Remember not the sins of my youth, nor my transgressions. So the sins of your youth, yes, it can be talking about the stupid things that you did when you're young, but also the stupid things that you do now because you are simply a child. You are nothing but a child by comparison to God. So just like you don't hold mistakes against your child, nor does God hold mistakes against you. God never, ever would do such a thing. But God does help you to lead you back to the truth, but only can do that with your bidding. And so we want to ask for that constantly, so that God can give us the blessings that we require, but will only come to us when we invite them. According to thy mercy, remember thou me for thy goodness' sake, O Lord. And that's saying the same basic thing there. Good and upright is the Lord, therefore will he teach sinners in the way. So God's perfection. God is the idea of perfection. Therefore, that which is in us, which is unperfect, is not of God. Therefore, we made it up. So God is going to lead us back and show us the ways that are truly ours, which are perfect, so that we can let go of and leave behind all of those other things which no longer are of interest to us, because we recognize that they are not real. They are not true. The meek will he guide in judgment, and the meek will he teach his way. The meek are the adepts. An adept is someone who practices. An adept is someone who is trained. An adept is trained so that they are non-reactive, but they are responsive. And the way that you respond to any situation is not by going back to the way that you've taught yourself in the past, but by asking to be shown in the present what the truth is and how you shall respond. There's a line in A Course in Miracles which comes to mind, which when it says, I do not understand anything. I do not understand what this means. I do not understand what this or anything means, and so I do not know how to respond to it. And I will not let my own past learning be the light which guides me now. So that means that we're no longer going to look back to the ways that we've taught ourselves, but we are now asking to be shown a new way. All the paths of the Lord are mercy and truth unto such as keep his covenant and his testimonies. So the paths of the Lord are mercy and truth, and so that's the only thing that we will experience when we are on those paths, and those are the only true paths. And unto such keep his covenant and his testimonies. So the way that you stay on those paths is by constantly keeping covenant and testimonies with the Lord. The way that you do that is by considering the qualities of the Lord, and those qualities, some of which are simply infinite love, perfect infinite love, perfect peace, infinite intelligence, the principle of life itself, etc., etc. Just considering those things, meditating on those things. For thy name's sake, O Lord, pardon mine iniquity, for it is great. So the name of something in the Psalms is its nature. So through the contemplating of the nature of God, we are pardoned for our iniquity, for it is great. And being pardoned for your iniquity means that you wake up from the nightmare that you are a sinful person, that you wake up from the nightmare, the illusion that you have transgressed against God, which is absolutely impossible. You can't do that, and God realizes that. So for thy name's sake, O Lord, pardon mine iniquity, for it is great, means that as you contemplate these great truths of God, the name of God, basically those ideas of God, that you are delivered from illusion into reality, and that is what is meant by pardoning your iniquity. What man is he that feareth the Lord? Him shall he teach in the way that he shall choose. The man that feareth the Lord is one that has deep abiding respect for this power which is beyond comprehension. It is all power. It is the one power. It is the true power. So the way that an electrician has respect for electricity is just a minute glimmering of what the kind of respect that we have for the most awesome power in all the universe. And so that is what is meant by fearing the Lord. Him shall he teach in the way that he shall choose. So God's will is done. It's not up to us to tell God what to do. It is up to us to ask God what to do. So God will tell us what to do, and if we follow God's instructions through his inner teacher, we will always find joy, happiness, success, and everything that we've ever wanted, only in manifestations that are much better than we ever thought were possible. His soul shall dwell at ease, and his seed shall inherit the earth. So you will be eased. Your soul will dwell at ease. How does your soul dwell at ease unless everything is working the way it's supposed to? So all will be well. His seed shall inherit the earth. Yes, that could mean that you will have great children and that you will have a lineage. But really, from an esoteric perspective, your seed inheriting the earth means that all of your righteous thoughts, all of these thought seeds that we are planting from doing things like these Psalms will manifest within physical manifest reality in your world. So your actual world will reflect this. Not just you'll feel better, not just you'll be a more spiritual person, but all the things in your world will reflect this. All of your money, your health, all of it. The secret of the Lord is with them that fear him, and will show them his covenant. So God's secret, the occult secrets of life, exist within the respect of this power and them that meditate on the qualities of God. That's where you find all occult knowledge. Regardless of what system you use, all occult knowledge comes from the meditation of the qualities of God and having that undying respect. Mine eyes are ever toward the Lord, for he shall pluck my feet out of the net. So if you keep your mind focused, that's your spiritual eye, if you keep your mind focused on God instead of on your problem is solved on your behalf. Turn thee unto me, and have mercy upon me, for I am desolate and afflicted. This is a projection. God does not need to turn unto us. We need to turn unto him. God never turns away. Okay, God is omnipresent. So we will turn to God and recognize that the mercy that he has already for us on that fourth sphere on the tree of life, that sphere of mercy. For I am desolate and afflicted. Yes, we are giving, we are giving voice to what we are experiencing by saying that we are desolate and afflicted, and we are recognizing that we are that way because of the projection that we have that God turned away from us. Now we are recognizing the truth that God never turned away from us, though if we turn toward God and keep those testimonies, meaning keeping our eye single or our mind focused on those qualities, we recognize that desolation and affliction is dissolved before our eyes. The troubles of my heart are enlarged. O bring thou me out of my distress. We are not putting our heads in the sand in this psalm. We are facing the troubles that we are experiencing and giving voice to the fact that yes, our troubles are huge that we are experiencing. And now we are looking at the solution instead of the problem by saying, bring me out of my distresses. And that is what God will do. And that is what God does now, right in this moment. Look upon mine affliction and my pain and forgive all my sins. So now, God, you look on my pain and my affliction and what I consider my sins, all of these things, and I want your interpretation of this, not mine. Because when God gives you his interpretation, all that is not true must disappear, which means that there is no pain, there is no affliction, and there is no problem. Our problems have already been solved. Consider mine enemies, for they are many, and they hate me with cruel hatred. Well, if we are feeling enemies out in the world, then we have enemy thought forms within our mind, and we have to consider them. We must consider them, and we are asking God to consider them with us. And we are acknowledging that from our perspective, we have many problems and many enemies, and they all hate us, and we are feeling a lot of hatred. And we are being honest about what we're experiencing, but we are asking God to consider this. And when God considers this, God does not see enemies, God does not see conflict, and God does not see hatred, and therefore it is dissolved. O keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I put my trust in thee. So again, we are asking to be delivered from our shame. We are asked to be reminded that God does keep our souls. And the way that we are delivered is by recognizing that we are already safe. We are already home, and we are already in joy. And we want God's will to be manifest in our actual experience, so that we are no longer experiencing this nightmare. We are experiencing the reality as God sees it. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait on thee. This is very clear that once we are clear on our right action, right thinking, then we have poise. We are poised, and we deal with our problems by being upright. We are poised, confident, and gracious, right? And not ashamed, for we put our trust in God, and God has his judgment, and God thinks that you're amazing. God thinks that you're awesome, because God created you that way. And God didn't make a mistake, and God is not mistaken. God is not confused about you. So, redeem Israel, O God, out of all his troubles. You are Israel. You are that masculine, feminine, and divine all rolled into one. Isis, Ra, and El. Israel. That is you. So redeem you. Redeem your higher self. Redeem you from this nightmare and take you out of all of your troubles. And it's already happened. And there's so much reason to be grateful. All right, well, this has been amazing. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Please come back to this psalm again and again, and you will notice that you have the guidance that you seek. And until next time, blessed be.